Unit 8, Wildlife Conservation. Page 100. Getting started. At a rescue centre. Activity 1. Listen and read.
Welcome to the Endangered Primate Rescue Centre. If you have any questions during the tour, don't hesitate to ask me.
I've just seen a monkey in the enclosure. So are primates just monkeys, Ms. Smith?
No, primates are a group of mammals that includes not just monkeys, but also humans and apes.
What's the difference between apes and monkeys?
Well, apes don't have tails and are larger than monkeys. Their brains are also larger. They are as good at using tools as they are at learning sign language.
So, how many primates live here?
The centre is home to more than 170 primates representing 14 species. They are housed in large enclosures.
I can hear some sounds. Is someone singing?
We're close to the gibbons enclosure, and the male and female gibbons are singing. Gibbons are the smallest of the apes, and all 7 species are regarded as threatened. In fact, 5 of them are listed as critically endangered.
What is the main threat to gibbons?
It's habitat loss due to deforestation and illegal hunting. Poachers make a big profit out of selling gibbons as pets and for making traditional medicine and food.
So, we can help gibbons if we stop keeping them as pets?
That's right. Now let me show you Derek, the gibbon we rescued last week. He was locked in a cage for 2 years as an illegal pet.
Oh no, he's so thin.
Yes, gibbons can become ill or weak unless they are fed the right type of food. After examining Derek, our veterinarian also found head injuries, so we'll give him a suitable diet and monitor him for several weeks before we release him into the national park.
Unit 8, Wildlife Conservation. Page 102. Language. Pronunciation. Assimilation. Activity 1. Listen and repeat the examples above. Pay attention to the highlighted sounds.
On purpose. In bed. In May. Hot potato. Not bad. Batman. Bad penny. Good boy. Red meat. Math solver.
Unit 8, Wildlife Conservation. Page 102. Language. Pronunciation. Assimilation. Activity 2. Listen and underline the parts where assimilation occurs. Then practice reading the sentences in pairs. 1.
Apes are larger than monkeys.
2.
If fed properly, the bear will recover soon.
3.
Both species benefit from living together.
4.
10% of the world's population was infected by the virus.
Grammar. Adverbial clauses of condition and comparison. 2. Work in pairs. Make sentences about endangered animals using adverbial clauses of condition or comparison.
Example. Punishment for hunting endangered animals is not as harsh as it should be. If we don't protect giant pandas, they will soon become extinct. You might be surprised to know that dolphins are more intelligent than many other sea creatures. If we do not take immediate measures to stop global warming, polar bears may become extinct. If we continue to breed and keep tigers in captivity, they will not develop the skills to survive in the wild.
Wildlife conservation news. 1. Work in pairs. Discuss the following questions.
Do you often read news stories about wildlife? If yes, what are they about? Yes, I do. Last week, I read a news story about a young girl who saved hundreds of starfish washed up on a beach. She and her mom were walking on the beach when they spotted the starfish stranded on the sand. Then they moved the creatures into rock pools and deep puddles. Yes, I do. Yesterday, I watched an interesting documentary about how sea turtles lay their eggs on a nesting beach.
Wildlife conservation news. 2. Read the news items and choose the most suitable headline for each one. There are 2 extra headlines.
Wildlife conservation news. 1. More than 600 volunteers participated in sea turtle conservation activities held on Condau Island last week. Volunteers made sure that their spawning ground is safe. They also rescued turtle eggs and buried them in the sand. Sea turtles are threatened with extinction worldwide, and their populations have decreased dramatically in many places. That is why sea turtle conservation programs are organized annually around the world. They attract many volunteers and help raise public awareness about the threats to sea turtle species. 2. Local authorities are taking measures to restore the coral reef ecosystem in Nha Trang Bay. They will organize regular cleanups of the seabed and removal of marine debris. Diving clubs will also help by having their professional divers collect broken pieces of coral, regrow them in underwater nurseries, and then reattach them to reefs. Coral cover is expected to increase, which will help restore natural habitats and promote marine biodiversity in the bay. In addition, the Bay's Management Board will also monitor the number of swimmers and divers to avoid putting too much stress on the ecosystem. 3. An exhibition entitled Paint for Wildlife will be held in Hanoi next week. It will include more than 30 paintings by secondary school students across the country. Visitors will also have the opportunity to meet the young artists and discuss the stories behind their beautiful paintings. All of them will be on sale to raise money for the protection of endangered and vulnerable species. The event organizers hope to raise public awareness of wildlife conservation through art and contribute to efforts to save rare and endangered animals.
Wildlife conservation news. 5. Work in groups. Discuss the following questions.
I find news item number 3 most interesting because this is a great opportunity for art lovers to gather together for a meaningful event. They can enjoy viewing paintings, and at the same time they can help promote public awareness about wildlife conservation. I find news item number 1 most useful because it helps raise public awareness about sea turtles as an endangered species that requires special protection. It also provides information about this unique volunteering opportunity and encourages people to take part in such conservation projects.
Activities for conserving wildlife. 1. Are the following activities good for conserving wildlife? Rank each activity in order of its importance to conserving wildlife.
3 to 6, 2 to 5, 4 to 1, 7. We think that the most important thing is avoiding activities that may harm the ecosystem. Raising funds for endangered species is the second most important activity because the money is used to protect and rebuild habitats, release species back into the wild, and carry out research. The third most important activity is volunteering to help local wildlife. As volunteers, people can directly contribute to conservation efforts and gain invaluable experience. We rank the other 4 items in the following order: 5 to 4, 1 to 7. They are all examples of learning about wildlife and raising awareness of endangered species conservation.
Activities for conserving wildlife. 2. Work in groups. Read the notice. Then brainstorm a list of activities you want to organize for the event. Explain how the activities will help conserve wildlife. Use the list in 1 and the example below to help you.
The school's youth union is celebrating the World Wildlife Day, March 3rd, to raise young people's awareness of wildlife conservation. We are seeking ideas for interesting activities to be included in the event. Send us your ideas. A. Today, we're discussing suitable activities for the World Wildlife Day. The aim is to raise students' awareness of wildlife protection. Does anyone have any interesting ideas? B. I think we should start the event with a speaking competition about wildlife conservation. Students can debate the importance of wildlife and how we can protect it. C. I like your idea, but how will a speaking competition help preserve wildlife? B. Well, this will be a good way to attract lots of participants. I know that many students in our school are good at debating. This competition will be an excellent awareness-raising activity. Don't you agree with me? A. Yes, I totally agree with you. I also suggest that we organize a wildlife photography exhibition. Using visuals is the best way to present information and convey our message. C. Okay, but we need to find suitable images. Perhaps we can ask the school photography club for advice. How about raising funds for an endangered species? We should support an animal native to our area, such as the sea turtle. B. Great idea.
Activities for conserving wildlife. 3. Work in groups. Summarize your ideas and present the activities for the World Wildlife Day to the class. Vote for the best ideas.
We discussed suitable activities for the World Wildlife Day to raise students' awareness of wildlife protection. We decided on 3 main activities. The first one is a speaking competition about wildlife conservation, where students can debate the importance of wildlife and how to protect it. This activity will attract many participants and serve as an excellent awareness-raising activity. The second activity we suggest is to organize a wildlife photography exhibition, as visuals are an effective way to convey the message. We also discussed asking the school photography club to help us find suitable images. The third activity we propose is raising funds for an endangered species, for example, a native animal like the sea turtle.
Endangered species.
1. Work in pairs. Look at the pictures and discuss the following questions.
What is happening to the tigers in the pictures? What can we do to protect the tigers? The 2 pictures show that tigers are still facing serious threats. In the first picture, the tiger is being kept in captivity, while the tiger in the other picture is being hunted and will probably be killed. We can protect tigers by refusing to buy tiger parts and items made from them. When visiting tiger reserves, we should be responsible tourists and should not pollute or damage their natural habitats.
Unit 8. Wildlife Conservation. Page 107. Listening. Endangered species. Activity 3. Listen to a talk and choose the correct answer, A, B, or C.
As part of our series on wildlife, I'm going to talk about tigers today. First, let's take a look at the current situation. Over the last 100 years, the world's wild tiger population has declined significantly. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were 100,000 tigers in the wild. From an estimated 7,000 to 8,000 in the late 1990s, wild tiger numbers decreased by more than half in 2010. For the first time in 2016, there was a slight increase. However, there were still only about 4,500 wild tigers around the world in 2023. So, why are tigers endangered? What are the threats facing wild tigers? First, tigers have lost a large part of their natural habitats. Their habitats have been destroyed or degraded by human activity. Forest clearance for agriculture and wood, as well as the building of roads and housing, have forced tigers to survive in small, unnatural environments. As their habitats become smaller, they find it hard to find food. So, they are forced to enter villages and attack farm animals, which often results in killing the tigers by the farmers. However, the most serious threat facing tigers today is poaching and the illegal trade in tiger parts. Historically, tigers were poached for their skins, used to make fur coats and home decorations. In addition, there is still demand for their bones, teeth, and other body parts, which are used to make traditional medicines. Nowadays, many people still believe tiger medicines can cure diseases, although this has been proven to be wrong by scientists. The demand for tiger parts led to the creation of tiger breeding farms, where tigers are bred in captivity and killed for their parts. These farms were originally set up with tiger conservation in mind, as a way to stop poaching. However, these breeding farms led to an increase in poaching. What can we do to help save tigers? Well, we can...
Unit 8, Wildlife Conservation, page 107. Listening. Endangered Species. Activity 4. Listen to the talk again and complete the notes. Use one word or a number for each gap.
As part of our series on wildlife, I'm going to talk about tigers today. First, let's take a look at the current situation. Over the last 100 years, the world's wild tiger population has declined significantly. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were 100,000 tigers in the wild. From an estimated 7,000 to 8,000 in the late 1990s, wild tiger numbers decreased by more than half in 2010. For the first time in 2016, there was a slight increase. However, there were still only about 4,500 wild tigers around the world in 2023. So, why are tigers endangered? What are the threats facing wild tigers? First, tigers have lost a large part of their natural habitats. Their habitats have been destroyed or degraded by human activity. Forest clearance for agriculture and wood, as well as the building of roads and housing, have forced tigers to survive in small, unnatural environments. As their habitats become smaller, they find it hard to find food. So, they are forced to enter villages and attack farm animals, which often results in killing the tigers by the farmers. However, the most serious threat facing tigers today is poaching and the illegal trade in tiger parts. Historically, tigers were poached for their skins, used to make fur coats and home decorations. In addition, there is still demand for their bones, teeth, and other body parts, which are used to make traditional medicines. Nowadays, many people still believe tiger medicines can cure diseases, although this has been proven to be wrong by scientists. The demand for tiger parts led to the creation of tiger breeding farms, where tigers are bred in captivity and killed for their parts. These farms were originally set up with tiger conservation in mind, as a way to stop poaching. However, these breeding farms led to an increase in poaching. What can we do to help save tigers? Well, we can...
Endangered species.
5. Work in pairs. Discuss the following questions.
Which threats are facing tigers in Vietnam? Which one is the most serious?
Tigers in Vietnam are also facing a number of threats. The largest of these is habitat loss. Forests in Vietnam have been destroyed, degraded, and reduced, which made tigers more vulnerable to hunters. The other reason is poaching. Tigers in Vietnam were hunted to extinction for their skins, bones, and other body parts, which are used in traditional medicines. Although the government has encouraged tiger farming and tiger breeding facilities, most of the animals born in such farms lack the survival skills necessary to be released into the wild. There is still a demand for tiger-based products in Vietnam, so captive tigers and their body parts continue to enter the legal and illegal trade.
A problem-solving report on protecting tigers. 2. Read the announcement and write a problem-solving report. Use the ideas in 1 and the outline below to help you.
The tiger is one of the most endangered animals in the world. The Wildlife magazine is holding a writing competition to raise people's awareness about conserving tigers. Write a report, 180 to 200 words, describing the threats facing tigers and suggesting possible solutions. 2. Wildlife magazine. From Nguyen Van A. Subject: Threats facing tigers and possible solutions. Date: 5 May 20_. This report describes the main threats facing wild tigers and suggests some solutions to the problem. Research has shown that over the last 100 years, many of the wild tigers' natural habitats have been lost due to human activities. Humans and tigers continue to compete for space. Deforestation continues as people clear forests for farming, roads, and housing. As a result, tigers are forced to live in smaller, unnatural environments where it is hard to find food. Another serious threat to wild tigers is poaching and illegal trade in tiger parts. Although the demand for fur coats made of tiger skins has decreased, tigers are still poached for other body parts used to make traditional medicines. What can we do to save tigers from extinction? One solution is to stop deforestation, restore degraded habitats, and rebuild or replace habitats that have been lost. In addition, educating people about the importance of tiger conservation is also very important. This will increase public awareness of the threats facing tigers and help reduce demand for tiger parts. Finally, governments should introduce stricter laws and harsher punishments to stop poachers from killing and selling tiger parts. In conclusion, there are several threats facing tigers. Therefore, we recommend that governments, organizations, and individuals should act now so that tigers can be saved.
Unit 8. Wildlife Conservation. Page 108. Communication and Culture. CLIL. Everyday English. Expressing Concern. Activity 1. Listen and complete the conversations with the expressions in the box. Then practice them in pairs. One.
Hi, Linda. Why didn't you come to Koc Phong National Park with us yesterday? We were worried about you. Has something happened?
I had a stomachache, so I had to stay at home and rest.
Sorry to hear that. Do you feel better now?
I'm fine now. Thanks for asking.
2.
You look worried. Is there something wrong?
No, I'm just a bit nervous about my presentation on wildlife protection tomorrow.
Is there anything I can do to help?
If you could look at my slides, it would be great. Thanks so much in advance, Mai.
Everyday English.
Expressing Concern.
2. Work in pairs. Use the models in 1 to make similar conversations for these situations. One of you is A, the other is B. Use the expressions below to help you.
1. B. You look so worried. What's the matter? A. It's my biology project. The deadline is tomorrow, but I haven't collected enough information about endangered species such as tigers and rhinos. B. Oh, I see. Is there anything I can do to help? A. Yes, please. If you could find out the most endangered animals in Vietnam, it would be very helpful. Thank you. 2. A. Hi, how are you? I didn't see you on the school field trip to the Endangered Species Rescue Center. What happened? B. Oh, I was a bit under the weather so I couldn't join the trip. A. Sorry to hear that. Are you okay now? B. Thanks. I'm much better now.
Clear. 1. Read the following text. Put a tick if the animals in the table are classified as endangered and a cross if they are not.
The IUCN Red List. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List divides species into 7 levels of conservation: least concern, near threatened, vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered, extinct in the wild, and extinct. It uses a set of precise criteria to evaluate extinction risks and decides which species need protection. An endangered species is one that meets any of the following criteria. Population reduction rate. A species is classified as endangered when its population has declined between 50 and 70%. This decline is measured over 10 years or longer. Geographic range. Geographic range describes the area where a species is found. If the area that a species lives on, known as its area of occupancy, is estimated to be less than 500 square kilometers, then the species is classified as endangered. Population size. A species is classified as endangered when there are fewer than 2,500 mature individuals. When a species population declines by at least 20% or 2 generations within 5 years, it is also classified as endangered.
Clear. 2. Work in groups. Name some endangered animals in Vietnam. Share what you know about them.
The sola is a rare animal found in Vietnam. Due to habitat loss, illegal hunting, and the pressures of the illegal wildlife trade, the sola population has dramatically declined. The seola is classified as critically endangered. The tam dao salamander, also known as the Vietnamese salamander, is a type of salamander found only in Vietnam. It lives in forests and rivers with a warm and humid climate. However, it is in danger because its habitat is being destroyed and it is being hunted illegally. Today, it is classified as critically endangered, with only a few individuals remaining in the wild.
Unit 8, Wildlife Conservation, page 110, Looking Back, Pronunciation. Underline the parts where assimilation occurs. Listen and check. Then practice saying these sentences in pairs. 1.
Have you been to the new conservation park in town?
2.
Animals are brought to the park from different places.
3.
My sister follows a special diet and doesn't eat red meat.
4.
We got back home from a trip to the animal rescue centre.
Protecting endangered species. Work in groups. Make a poster about an endangered species and suggest ways to protect it. Present your poster to the class. Use these questions as cues for your poster and presentation.
Hello, everyone. Today, our group is going to talk about the endangered species, the Amur leopard. It is one of the rarest big cats in the world, found in the forests of eastern Russia and northeastern China. These leopards are known for their beautiful, thick, spotted coats, which help them survive in cold climates. However, this amazing species is critically endangered. The Amur leopard faces habitat loss due to logging, and agricultural activities that are destroying their forests. They are also hunted for their valuable fur or to protect livestock. Moreover, many of their prey animals, like deer, are also hunted, leaving less food for the leopards. Additionally, changes in temperature and snow patterns are further shrinking their habitat. The Amur leopard is listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List, meaning they are at an extremely high risk of extinction in the wild. In fact, there are fewer than 100 individuals left in their natural habitat. To save the Amur leopard, we need to protect their habitat. Governments should create more protected areas and stop illegal logging. Anti-poaching laws must be strictly enforced, and local communities should be educated about the importance of conservation. Programs to restore populations of deer and other prey species should be supported. Zoos and conservation groups are already working to breed Amur leopards in captivity and release them into the wild. In conclusion, the Amur leopard is critically endangered, but if we act now, we can save this species. Protecting their forests, enforcing laws, and supporting conservation programs are all crucial steps. Let's work together to ensure they survive for future generations. That's the end of our presentation. Thanks for your listening.